During this week's video, we make a receiver hitch on our old Cub Cadet from a rusty hitch from one of our Jeeps. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to work on this free Cub Cadet that we got a couple years ago. It's kind of just been sitting around the house. We already removed the deck on this mower. It was kind of iffy, so we removed that, and it's kind of just been sitting around the property without a purpose. And today we're going to change that. This little tractor has some issues. First, it had a dead battery. That was easy to replace that. Now the front steering is a little jacked. I've kind of played with the tie rod ends a little, but I'm thinking there's a bigger issue there. But we're not going to address that in this video. First, we got to replace the starter motor. So I ordered this starter motor from Amazon. So this starter on the tractor doesn't work very good at all. It usually takes a hammer and a couple whacks to get the tractor to turn over and start. The motor runs good. Hopefully it's just the starter that we can throw in from Amazon to resolve that issue. Going back to the purpose for this tractor, we're gonna make it the yard tractor to tow things around, to push vehicles, to tow trailers. Here's a couple ideas that I got rolling in my head. So the first thing I think we should do is replace this starter and make sure that this tractor is gonna be reliable to start every time we want to use it. So let's hammer that out first. Well, not hammer it out because it's a new starter. So hopefully no more hammers. I guess we're gonna do a quick demonstration for you of what's going on here. Click, 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 click. And that's where all the hammer blows hit the starter. Let's start by removing this engine cover. Well, we got the starter out. That wasn't too terribly difficult. We just had to remove the cover. Then we could access the starter. 2 bolts under here, which this one is quite difficult to get to. And you do need to use a T40 to get to it. I tried this first, so I didn't strip the Torx, but it broke instead. As you can't see because my camera won't focus, but it's broken. The 2 starters look similar, should work. And if they do work, I will put the link in the description of what starter that we bought on Amazon. There's a couple 3 different options. I went with the cheapest one with 2-day shipping. So we'll find out how well it works, and I will let you guys know. We'll see if this cheap starter bolts up and starts the tractor. By the way, disconnect your positive side on the battery first before you disconnect it here on the starter. Well, look what's happening. Yeah, we just put a starter in for nothing. Must be the solenoid, because it's clicking but no spinning. So let's go tap that solenoid a little bit. Well, the tractor starts now, and it appears to be the solenoid. So I hopped on Amazon and ordered a $12 solenoid that should be here in a couple days. But for now, we'll just have to tappity tap with the hammer to get the tractor started. So we buttoned up the rest of the tractor. We put all the panels back on, cleaned the filter, checked the oil, and I guess we will keep the old starter, maybe for a rainy day. I'm still not 100% sure that that starter is good, but we'll just keep it around if we ever need it. So let's move to the back of the tractor and focus on something cool, some mod that we can put on the tractor. So for back here, We already have this dinky little hitch. We'll put a big receiver hitch on here. I know they make brackets that hang on the back of the cubby, but I just couldn't find any on Marketplace. So we're gonna build our own. I wanna build a receiver hitch back here that will hang on those pins, and then we'll probably use the bolts to bolt the receiver hitch in. Because then we can use something like this, and then we can tow whatever we want around with the tractor. And then we can use a ball and hitch as well to haul a trailer around, a bigger trailer than the yard trailer. So let's go find ourselves a receiver hitch to put on the cubby. Well, there you go. We got the Grand Cherokee. That's gonna be the donor for the receiver hitch. If you're new to the channel, you don't know this, but the back of the frame on this Cherokee, she busted. I'm gonna start disassembling this Cherokee one of these days. But for now, I kind of just used it as my little yard machine for when I'm doing projects in the backyard. I just have my tools in the Cherokee and I don't have to bring them in. And I can just tool this around the yard wherever I go. Pretty convenient. But back to the hitch. It must go. Well, there you have it. She gone. Time to go bring that rusty, crusty old Jeep hitch to the cubby. Well, there you have it. We got the hitch mocked up on the back of the cubby. But we'll have to resume this in the morning and see if we can get that attached onto the cubby. Using those pins, as, like I said before, trying to utilize a couple of those bolts. Yeah, should work out pretty well. Well, it's the next day and me and the DOG are sitting here contemplating what to do next to mount this hitch on this cubby. And this is what we found. We got the YJ repair patch panels that we bought from Amazon. We used these to repair my ZJ on the subframe on that unibody, and we still have some left over. So I think these are gonna work perfect to make little brackets for our hitch. We're gonna use the pin provided on the cubby and the hole. I would probably have to put a slot in here, but check this out. Yeah, and we got another one. So I believe those will work just good enough. You can see them on the pins there, and we'll just throw some tack welds in here for now. I clean this up a little bit as best I can with how rusty it is. We'll throw some tack welds on here and we will see if this new hitch idea will just hang on the back of here. So let's throw some tack welds, see what we got. I guess before I get too far, I better throw some slots, some slits in that hole. Otherwise, if I tack weld that on there, I don't think I'm gonna be able to slide that off. So let's do that first. Well, back to the drawing board. Before I tack welded those brackets on, I noticed something that we had to do. We had to pull the receiver out about an inch. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to, throw the slots in because the hitch would have been too close to the back of the tractor. So now we got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what we got to do to make this stronger right here. By the way, sorry for the fan noise and all the birds out in the background. It's like 90 degrees in this garage, so just trying to stay cool with the doors open and the fans on. It's not really good for videoing though. You get a lot of background noise. But let me show you what I got for an idea on this hitch idea that we got going on. So I believe we can put a kickstand under here, and then it would go into that hole for the original hitch. So then we can still slide it on and off. rest on the bottom on that factory hitch. So let's build a little kickstand. Here's what we got for choices to make our little kickstand. And this guy looks like it'll be perfect. It is 2 inches from the bottom of the hitch to the hole. So we'll put this guy in there, and then we'll weld a little, well, not little, but a big nut in the bottom of this. So then the kickstand will go down on the factory hitch. We'll throw a bolt up through the factory hitch and then fasten it to the kickstand to the hitch. Will this work? No clue. Will we try? Indeed we will. Let's cut a tube, weld a nut, and see if we got a working kickstand for our hitch. Before we cut the length for the kickstand, I want to enforce it a little bit. So I'm going to add this little L bracket that already has a hole in it, and I pulled it from the scrap bin. I just threw this away. I'm like, there's no way I'm ever going to use it. It's way too rusty and it won't work for anything. This is why I can't throw things away. Perfect hole size, perfect L bracket. Check it out, we got a Cub Cadet with a receiver hitch on it. Turned out pretty well. Put that bolt in that little kickstand underneath and the side panels come off, so the hitch is removable. So everything worked out pretty well. We also did the jump test on it, so that passes. Next, we gotta go move some things around the property and put the hitch through its paces and see if we made something cool or not. Well, there you have it. The night is getting long and we got a tractor that can pull things now. The hitch seems to be working so far. We whipped the cab trailer thingamabob around the property. The hitch is still on. So far so good. I got a couple more ideas I want to do for adapters on this tractor, but that's it for this video. We'll have to tinker with that tractor in the future. But as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.